This is the new Land Rover Discovery, and I know what you're thinking. The cover design doesn't look as rugged and tough as the old square one. Let's be honest, people don't tend to like change, do they? But eventually they get used to it and rather enjoy it. Now this car starts from £43,000. It's about £2 or so grand more than the old Discovery, but you click up there to go to carwow.co.uk, you can compare offers from dealers and buy a price you're confident in. One thing to note though is that while the starting price is kind of reasonable, you don't really get anything on the entry-level car. It's pretty basic, so you don't get leather interior and you don't get sat-nav. If you want those, you have to spend an extra £6 grand to step up to the SE. But that car doesn't have a reversing camera. And on something this big, you probably want that as well as the normal sensors. And then you need the HSE, and that's an extra £7,500. But then you do get a lot of extra kit. But when you do the maths, this car then works out a little bit more expensive than rivals such as the Audi Q7 and Volvo XC90. But can it match them on interior quality? Well, I'm going to let you have a good look around the cabin, and then you'll see for yourself that it all looks pretty nice. And actually, yeah, the materials, I think it's up there with best in class. There are a few thinner feeling plastics down here, but it's not too bad. And there's loads to like about this cabin. It's got so many cool features. So I mean, you can start off with the fact that the door bins are very large. It's a 1.5 litre bottle. You've got storage here. You've got more here. There's a movable cup holder shelf there with more storage in there. You've got ways to charge your mobile phone down there. There's more storage here. There's a huge central storage unit here. On this particular car, it's upgraded to a fridge. I mean, it's incredible. There's little nice features like these hooks there as well. But my favourite bit is this. Look, got an extra storage cubby just behind the controls for the climate. And in fact, all the controls are very easy to use. It's very minimalistic, this cabin. The infotainment system on this car, because it's the HSE Lux, you've got the In Control Pro system. It's dead easy to use. It's a really, really nice system. Now, if you click up there, you can see my full in-depth video review of it. Now, let's move on to the back, because this is where the Discovery really shines. Now, one thing about the Discovery is that you do have to step up to get into it, but for elderly people, there's a grab handle to help them out. Here in the back, as you can see, there is plenty of room. We've got loads of knee room, lots of headroom. Perhaps my only complaint is the fact that you do seem to sit quite low. So the angle between your knees and your bottom, well, it's almost like you're squatting. Now, I can't fault the fact that this car has got a pretty much flat floor, so it's really handy when you need to carry 3 abreast. And yeah, it's quite a wide car as well, so it's all right. The door bins are big here in the back as well, and in them I have the wireless headphones for the rear entertainment system, which is standard fit on the HSE Luxury Range Topping Edition, which is what this car is. And as well as that, we've got climate control back here on this particular model. And there's lots of clever features actually here in the back of the car. So you've got 2 airplane style folders there for bits and pieces. You've got extra charging there for various mobile devices. If you want to fold this down, you can do. And there's some cup holders here, and you can recline if you want the seat backs and slide them forward and backwards. Now, you might want to slide them forward if you want to carry people in the 3rd row, because after all, the Discovery is a 7-seater, but you don't actually need to slide them forward. You can leave them in the furthest back position, because this car is designed to carry 7 adults, not just 5 adults and 2 small children in the back, like some other 7-seaters. So let's just check it out. At the press of the button, I can slide this seat, well, I can recline it and then slide it forward to get in. I'll just do the same on this one so you guys can see exactly what's happening. And then, remember this seat, I'm going to pull it all the way back, push this one forward, pull this one all the way back, and see if I've still got enough knee room. Come on. So I've still got some knee room, even with this seat in its most backward position. That is really impressive. And if I sit up straight, I have decent headroom. It's not bad here in the back, and there's some creature comforts, such as some storage here with some charging points. I've even got electrically heated seats as well. If you want to carry a baby seat, you've got Isofix, which are very easily accessible under these flaps. Very nice. And there's Isofix on this seat, the 2 outer middle row, and on the front passenger seat as well. Now, I'm just going to get out of here. Just wait for that to do its thing again. It's not the quickest. And now let's go and check out this car's boot. One thing owners used to love about the previous Discovery was its split tailgate. Unfortunately, this new one doesn't have it, but to try and make up for that, Land Rover have given it this little shelf that folds down, so you can still sit at the back of the car and watch the races. And apparently this can hold up to 300 kilograms of weight. Yeah, I'm quite a lot lighter than that, in case you're wondering. One thing this new car does have though is all electric folding rear seats. Now, they're not exactly the fastest in operation. It's one of the drawbacks of electrically operated things, but you don't have to do anything. Look at that, you've got a massive boot then, absolutely huge. And if you want to carry longer items, you can fold the whole lot down and turn this thing into a big load lugger. And once again, yes, wait for it to do its thing. Please don't click out the video. There we go, it's finally done it. Look, you've got an absolutely massive load bay and it's completely flat. Now, if you click up there, you can actually see more detail on this car's practicality. See how much stuff we can fit in this car's boot, how easy it is to fit a child seat, and just what it's like with 3 people in the middle row. So then, the new Land Rover Discovery is a very practical car, but what's it like when you hit the road? Now, one of the main talking points about this new Discovery is the fact that it's up to 450 kilos lighter than the old one. Part of the reason for that is that lots of the body is now made from lightweight aluminium. Also, the construction itself is slightly different. The old car was built a bit like a tractor. You had a chassis, and then on top of that, a cab, whereas this one is built like a normal car, and that means that the chassis and the body are all as one, and as a result, that helps save weight. It also helps improve the handling. For a big old thing, this car does handle pretty well. Maybe not as sharp in the corners as something like an Audi Q7, but for most people, most of the time, they ain't gonna care. The steering's all right as well. In the old car, it was very vague. This is much better, though when you're doing low speed maneuvers, you do notice that the steering is a bit slow, so you have to do quite a lot of wheel twirling. In terms of comfort, you get air suspension as standard, and that does really help iron out the bumps in the road. It does still fidget a little bit when you're going slowly on imperfections, but as you go faster, it just wafts along. Overall, this new Discovery does drive a lot better than the old one. All those are going, oh, I don't like the curvy looks. One of the benefits of the curvy looks compared to the old car's kind of slab-sided design is that it's more aerodynamic, and as a result, you get less wind noise, and that makes it more peaceful to travel in on the motorway. And of course, you've got that brilliant driving position. I mean, you really do feel like you're sat on a throne, especially when you've got these chair-like seats with armrests, and visibility is pretty good as well. Obviously forward, it's excellent. There's not too much of a blind spot here, but the view out the back, yeah, that's not very good. You're really going to need those parking cameras. And if you want to see the visibility for yourself, you can click up there to watch my 360-degree video. Now, you can get this new Discovery with a 2-litre diesel engine, which claims to do around 43 miles per gallon, but I don't recommend you get that, because while it's all right when you're cruising, if you want to put your foot down, you do notice that it has to cope with this car's weight, which is still well over 2 tons. What you're going to want is the one in this car. It's the V6 diesel. It's relatively smooth and it's got plenty of punch. It's supposed to do around 39 miles per gallon. What am I getting? Well, the trick computer says 26 miles per gallon. Oh yeah. As well as the diesel engines I mentioned earlier, you can get this car with a V6 petrol, which will do 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds, but it is rather thirsty, so I wouldn't recommend it. As standard, you get this car with an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and it does a good job of slurring the gears together. And if you want to, you can change gears yourself using these steering wheel mounted paddles, though I don't think you're going to bother. One of the key things about the Discovery is the fact that it's a proper off-roader. And it can do things that you would not believe. I've got the car set up with the auto-rain response system in automatic, but you can change the settings so that you can have it for various surfaces. So I've also got it in low ratio mode, and that means that the gearbox can really haul this big thing up pretty much any hill. It's very, very impressive. When you put it in low ratio mode, it also raises the air suspension to its highest setting. Now, you might be thinking, oh, that's all well and good, Matthew, but why does anyone, whoa, need their car to be able to do this? And of course you don't, do you? But it's a bit like your Swiss watch. You could get away with having one with a quartz movement, but you don't want that. You want a proper mechanical movement. You want the authenticity, and this Discovery is an authentic off-roader. And of course, if you're driving round town and it gets a little bit rainy, it's got a wading depth of 900 millimeters.
However, not everything about the new Discovery is great. Here's 5 annoying features.
You might be able to fold the seats down and up electrically, but you have to do the last part, the headrest, by hand. And that's a complete hardship, really. The car's load height is pretty high, which could make it a little bit difficult for your old dog to leap into the back. Also, you have to reach for the parcel shelf, and it's not easy to get up whether that is down or up. Oh, and it's tricky to remove. Come on. Oh. 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 Oh, I think I bruised a rib. Land Rover doesn't exactly have the best reliability record in the world, and this is a very complex car. What could possibly go wrong? The rear window doesn't go all the way down, and it's a bit of a shame it doesn't extend all the way to here. Instead, you've got this plastic. It takes an absolute age for the car's infotainment system to turn on. There we go. Finally.
Thankfully, there's plenty of cool things to like about the new Discovery.
The elegant arrival feature lowers the car by 40mm automatically to make it easy to get in and out of. Special weight sensors in the car's seat bases means that if there's someone sat there, the car won't let you fold the backs down on them. With the optional waterproof activity wristband, you can lock the keys in the car and go off for a surf, a swim or a wakeboard, or maybe just fall into the canal, then come back and unlock the car. The door-to-door routing function of the navigation allows you to plot a route using the car system, then you can complete the rest of the journey on foot with guidance from a special smartphone app. Half of this car's aluminium structure is made from recycled metal. Now, if you click up there, you can get more information and compare offers on Land Rovers at CarWow. So then, what's my overall verdict on the new Discovery? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should just go right ahead and buy the new Discovery. It's an absolutely brilliant SUV.
If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and click on our logo to subscribe, and on the video windows to watch our detailed practicality, infotainment and 360-degree passenger ride video. Did you spot the Easter egg? It was the Discovery channel logo in the car's secret cubby.